Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about the origins of mantra. A bias in modern spiritual thought claims that light symbolizes the highest attainment in spirituality and divinity. We see light surrounding the Christ and the nimbus of the saints. Light graces the priests who carry and work with the Jewish Ark of the Covenant. The Buddha also has a halo of light that pours forth blessings on all who come into his presence. With all of these signs, many of us pray for light on the path and strive for something we call enlightenment. But a deeper investigation reveals that sound, rather than light, represents the highest spiritual state. There is ample scriptural evidence for this conclusion. In the Old Testament, God did various things for several days before he or she created light. If light was the highest quality, he or she would have created it first. The New Testament, Gospel of John, starts, "In the beginning was the Word." Light was not the beginning, rather it was sound in the form of divine speech. Neither the Old nor the New Testament contains a verse saying, "And God made light to shine." Instead, God creates the phenomenon by speaking it. And God said, "Let there be light." The primary mechanism of creation is sound. The Eastern religious texts reveal a similar orientation. Sir John Woodruff, in the Garland of Letters, includes a translation of a scripture called the Satapada Brahmana. Here we read, "In the beginning was God. With power through speech, God said, 'May I be many, may I be propagated.' And by his will expressed through subtle speech, he united himself with the speech and became pregnant. Prajapati and Saraswati were then created, and Prajapati is called the father of all beings." This statement sounds amazingly like the Gospel of John, yet it was written thousands of years before Christ. Other references to the divine creative qualities of sound abound. In Chinese Buddhism, Kuan Yin is referred to as the divine voice that calls from the elusive form of the universe, from the seven elements. The Vedas, the world's oldest recorded scriptures, speak of the divine sound current called Sabda Brahma, sounds or words of the Creator, which permeates all and is key to creation. Some modern teachers echo this ancient idea. Sufi mystic master Hazrat Inayat Khan has written, "Divine sound is the cause of all manifestation. The knower of the mystery of sound knows the mystery of the whole universe." In the early part of the 20th century, H.B. Blavatsky wrote in The Secret Doctrine, "Sound is a tremendous occult hidden power. It is such a force that the electricity generated by 1,000,000 Niagara Falls could never counteract even the smallest potential of this energy when directed by proper knowledge." In this discourse, we are going to introduce Sanskrit mantras. As you had seen my previous videos, I've been posting different mantras, and I wanted to give a context towards the mantras and why mantra reciting is actually beneficial for our everyday well-being. The word mantra is based on the Sanskrit roots man and tri, liberation device. So mind, man, mind, liberation device. In Hindu and Buddhist usage, it has come to mean spiritual sound formula. Hindu scripture calls mantra that which, when contemplated and repeated, will offer protection. The proper study of Sanskrit mantra includes physical and spiritual anatomy, the system of subtle channels in the body, diagrams of spiritual energy processing centers, which is our chakras, and the human voice, which powerfully influences all of the above. Sanskrit mantras are also key to techniques for awakening, which is kundalini, a subtle power cell located at the base of the spine. One does not have to subscribe to the Hindu religion in order to use and benefit from mantra. Sincere seekers on many diverse paths, Judaism, Christianity, Buddhism, and others, have used mantras to enrich their spiritual practice. The book, the Kala Chakra Tantra, proclaims that without depending upon mantra, Buddhahood cannot be attained. The Hindu scriptures, the mantras on mantra sacred words of power were drawn from a variety of scriptural sources. Foremost among these are the four Vedas, compiled between 1000 and 500 BC, making them the world's oldest religious writings. The sections of the Veda, richest in commentary and instructions on mantra, are the Brahmanas, the Aranyakas, the Upanishads. The Aranyakas are devoted to the more secret aspects of ritual and mantras, whereas the Upanishads, which form the final portion of the Vedas. Another important source of the mantras and associated teachings in this video will be relied on the Puranas, which is the body of Indian myth, history, and legend. The Purusha Suktam. The Purusha is the primordial cosmic being, the source of all human life. Each of us is said to originate in some part of this transcendental overself. This is the earliest recorded instance of a spiritual text explaining the creation of the human race. The ancient seers who encountered this being in meditation created the world's first religious ceremonies to celebrate the Purusha, that great being of which we are all a part. On mantra, sacred words of power, I chant a hymn to this cosmic being called the Purusha Suktam. You may use this as meditation and mantra attunement. The chakra system. Chakras are whirling energy centers in the subtle body that correspond to the major nerve ganglia located along the spine. Just as the nerve plexus are in constant motion, regulating our various physical systems, the chakras are busy taking in and distributing a basic energy throughout both physical and subtle bodies. Some spiritual teachers describe chakras as resembling large, vibrant sunflowers. Those who are able to see the chakras, like those who can see auras, describe colors of various hues and intensities indicating health or disease. Since I was a child, I've been able to see auras. And I also hear, in fact, my psychic abilities, with the blessings of the universe, has been pretty developed. So what I would want to mention here is, when you are I will do another video on this. When you have the ability to see auras, which I have been able to see since I was a child, and I thought that was part of my world. It's just that now I'm able to switch it off and switch it on whenever I want to tune out of it. So mantras are the same as well, and those with the gift of clairaudience, which I too have, you will be able to listen to the subtle vibrations in the air So, going back to this, when you're able to develop your ability to see aura, you're able to see different hues and intensities, and this will also able to allow you to see where a person may be energetically balanced or not balanced. Mantras are a powerful way to increase the energy processing levels of the chakras. It is as if a light bulb with a voltage capacity of 50 watts becomes enabled to hold 100 watts, then 500 watts, and so forth. What are seed mantras? The simplest kinds of mantras are called seed sounds. These short, powerful sounds are also used as building blocks for longer mantras. Most of them are associated with Hindu and Buddhist deities, which we will be calling anthropomorphized principles. Because raw power is not easily understood by the mind, Eastern tradition embodies its various aspects in human like deities that make them easier to relate to. Whether one calls these being principles, ancestors, or gods and goddesses does not matter over the long term. The powers they represent can change our lives for the better, no matter what we may believe in the beginning. Here are some seed sounds for the primary Hindu beings or anthropomorphized principles. Shreem. This is the sound for the feminine principle of abundance called Lakshmi. Repetition of Shreem mantra produces the ability to attract and maintain abundance, financial wealth, good health, friends, enough food to eat, inner peace, the love of children, family, and so forth. Kleem. This is the seed mantra for the principle of attraction. It is sometimes combined with other mantras to attract an object of desire. As you chant Kleem, the power of your focus upon the desired condition becomes more intense. I have chanted this mantra in another separate video, and I will attach the link so that you'll be able to listen to it. My experience with Kleem has always been very beneficial. I was first introduced to Kleem by my friend's mother. At that time, a couple of years ago, I was going through certain challenges with attracting the right companion. So that auntie was very kind enough to share this mantra with me. And the interesting bit was, I did not attract a companion. Rather, my rekindling the inner goddess started attracting followers. So I feel this Green Mantra has its own divine intelligence, and it attracts what needs to be attracted into your life. So that's why I find this mantra very unique and very beneficial. And please do share with me your experience on this mantra too. The next one would be Doom. This is the seat for the feminine principle called Durga, which invokes protection from which is feared. That's why you have noticed like a lot of mantras that offers protection from the feminine principle has got Doom in it. And Cream, the seed of Kali, the primordial feminine energy, her considerable power is invoked to help burn away negative ego. Gum, this seed for Ganapati, which is Lord Vinayagar, Shiva, and Parvati's son and remover of obstacles brings success in endeavors. It is especially good for those who are just getting started with mantras and want to test them. I will do separate videos on the seed mantras alone. This seed sound is associated with the feminine principle called Saraswati, who rules artistic and scientific endeavors, music, and education. The same principle governs the development and manifestation of spiritual knowledge, good education, memory, and intelligence, and musical skill. Glaum, another seed for Ganapati that removes energetic obstacles lying specifically between the throat and the base of the spine. Haum, seed for the abode of transcendental consciousness, the masculine principle called Shiva. Hreem, This sound, found in both Vedic and Tibetan Buddhist practices, is used for seeing through the illusion of this reality. Both traditions also include it in other longer mantras. Mahamaya is one name for the feminine principle available through the sacred heart center for which the mantra is seed. Narayana, another aspect of divinity, is another name for the principle manifesting at this point. Major chakras and their seed sounds. Each of the major chakras has a seed sound associated with it. The Muladhara chakra's principal seed mantra is Lam. Swadhisthana chakra, the sexual center, the principle is water, seed mantra is Vam. The navel center, Manipura chakra, the principle is fire, seed mantra is Ram. The heart center, Anahata chakra, principal air, seed mantra is Yam. The throat center, Vishuddha chakra, principal Ether, seed mantra Hum. The brow center, Ajna chakra, principal mind, seed mantra Om. This chakra centered between the eyebrows is sometimes called the third eye. Crown center, Sahasrara chakra, principal transcendence of individuality. The crown chakra is silent, therefore it has no seed sound. So this is when you experience deep-seated meditation, you're actually connecting to the crown center. Sao is not associated with the spinal location like other syllables in this list. Rather, it is a spiritual principle that operates through one of the petals in the Anjna chakra to activate Shakti, the creative principle of the kundalini. So I'm going to wrap up on this session today. And if you have any question, please drop me a message. I'll be happy to answer, and I'll be sharing more mantras. I'm going to start with seed mantras, and I'm going to share more complex mantras in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned. And if you have any doubts in pronunciation, meanings, energetical flows, you may be more than happy to. I'm more than happy to book you into a session where we can discuss this. If you have any other doubts, feel free to visit my Rekindling the Inner Goddess page on Facebook or Instagram. You can always DM me. I think I've covered all grounds for the origins of mantra today. So take care. Have a beautiful day, guys. Love you all. Keep shining brightly.